Hello angels, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about masculine and feminine polarity, how masculine and feminine energies interact in the world, and also the feminine wounds that have been occurring on this planet under the guise of the patriarchy. A little bit out there, but stay with me and I will explain everything in a practical way. So, what do I mean when I say the divine feminine and the divine masculine? It applies to absolutely anyone. Everyone has divine feminine and divine masculine energy within them. What that means is we both have aspects of the feminine and masculine masculine aren't really like a polar opposite to each other. They just coexist in this beautiful like Venn diagram type way. I will make a visual and put it on the screen now. But feminine and masculine polarity actually does not really exist in that type of way that we think it does. I mean, when I say the divine feminine, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on in this video, is the feminine essence that anyone who is feminine presenting or lives in that sort of feminine energy way. We all have feminine energy that is within us, and as women and as feminine presenting people, even people who identify as men who prefer to be in their feminine, we all have this feminine energy within us. It's a feminine essence, and when you are a feminine person or you identify with the feminine, it is important to cultivate this energy because that energy will ground you. This feminine energy is relaxed, it's laid back, it's still assertive, just like the masculine energy, more relaxed in its expression. It's beautiful, it loves the material, it is very earthly, it has earthly energy, it's very airy compared to the grounded nature of masculine energy. It's very like 4 chakras versus bottom 3 chakras, where the masculine is more the bottom 3 chakras. Of course there's a balance in all of them, but just for an example, the feminine is very earthly because it likes material, but at the same time it's that Mother Earth type energy. It's a beautiful essence. It's a essence of beauty, of love, of nurture, and what has happened is we have wounded the feminine in society. How have we wounded the feminine? Think about the patriarchy. For thousands of years, or at least hundreds of years since colonization, because there were matriarchal societies before European colonization of North America. Before that occurred, there was matriarchal societies, and all of a sudden this power that views women as less than, views the feminine as bad, comes in and decides, hey, we're gonna make the men in charge. Where's your men? We need to talk to the men. When there was indigenous peoples in North America, the system was thrown off balance because the women were viewed as very important people, but the Europeans, when they were trying to barter with each other, the Europeans demanded that they speak to the men, but the men didn't really know what was going on because the women were in charge of this knowledge. What happens in a patriarchal society is that in order to be equal, women must embody the masculine energy to even get a seat at the table. That's an issue because we start to diminish our own feminine essence within us. The masculine energy took over, created this patriarchal society. It said, we're only going to deal with masculine and masculine. We're not going to balance the masculine and the feminine. We're going to say that there's only one way to be, and that is masculine. Now, women, to get a seat at the table, need to present as this masculine energy. They need to be assertive because the masculine won't listen to the feminine. That is off balance. In a perfect society, women and feminine presenting people would be allowed to be in their feminine, and men would be in their grounded masculine energy, or masculine presenting people. And we would have this beautiful mesh of these energies, and everything would be balanced. There would be no war, there would be no gender imbalance, because everything would have balance on the scale, because both energies would be brought to the table. Why a lot of women presidents have to be more masculine, in their masculine energy. But what would happen if there was women leaders is that we would get a more feminine presence. The divine feminine would be able to influence these systems, because then the feminine presence is very nurturing. It would be a more equal society, because there would be another feminine essence brought to the table, a feminine voice brought to the table. But right now we're dealing right out of the masculine center. We're not dealing out of the feminine center. So that's why there's so many systems that are unbalanced. Now a lot of this information, I have to say, comes from Jocelyn Dare. I will link her information below. She's a wonderful divine masculine feminine balancing coach. She does courses as well. I'm attending one of her courses this weekend, which I'm very excited about. But what has to happen is there has to be in society a balance of masculine and feminine. If there isn't a balance, we create chaos like is in the world right now. If you look at America, perfect example. There's not enough feminine nurturing airy energy as there is the wounded masculine energy that says we must control with an iron fist. Two archetypes in the wounded masculine energy, and that is the tyrannical king, which I'll explain first, and then the more nice guy. The king is more violent, more in charge. He wants to control people with his masculine energy. This is the main reason why the feminine does not feel comfortable around the masculine, because so often there's this tyrannical king archetype that suppresses the feminine, says the feminine is bad and that it cannot be present, that only masculine can be present. But what happens is the tyrannical king then makes the opposite of himself, which is the nice guy. The nice guy doesn't want to be the tyrannical king, so he goes more into the feminine instead of the masculine grounded energy. He goes more into the feminine, where he says, I don't want to be like this guy, so I'm going to be the nice guy and be transactional so I can still get what I want from the feminine, but I'm not scaring the feminine away. I'm just being the super nice pushover so that women and feminine presenting people will be comfortable around me. This is a problem because both these energies are imbalanced. That what would happen if we had men and masculine presented people more in their grounded masculine, which I'll explain in a minute, the feminine would be able to feel safe. The feminine would not need to be afraid of the tyrannical king's archetype anymore, or the nice guy archetype who's just another wounded masculine individual who will not make the feminine feel safe either. If you were in a grounded masculine energy, then there would be much more room for the feminine to express itself, because now the feminine feels safe around you. The feminine sees that you're just being grounded in yourself, and they're not afraid anymore. There's no fearful repression happening here. The feminine wound is putting up this masculine shield, going into the masculine energy to get a seat at the table, and not embodying the feminine anymore. I said earlier, it's very important to balance these energies. So when the energy is unbalanced within the woman or feminine presenting person, it's very difficult for them to feel embodied in their true nature. Now that I've talked about these negatives, I want to get into how you can balance your energy, whether you're masculine presenting or feminine presenting, and feel more comfortable in each of those energies. I want to talk about how you can balance them. Most important thing is to live as you truly are as a person. This is absolutely crucial. Anyone. And that's why it applies to both energies. When you are doing what you want to do truly in life, you are balancing your frequency. You are coming into a heart-centered way of being, and your energies will naturally begin to balance because the universe is supporting you. Now, something that the feminine can do is practice leaning into the feminine energy. Try to be so forward and aggressive. Be lighter in your existence. Just be light in your energy. Be playful. What the masculine can do is be more grounded. Things you can do to ground yourself are like walking in grass, meditation. Practice leading with your energy. Just being strong in your energy. This doesn't mean the feminine is weak. Both energies are very, very strong in their own way. But for the masculine is more of a leader type energy. So lead seems so very simple, and that's because it is. Not a lot that needs to happen in order to balance your energy. The thing you can do is talk it out. People have wounds because of the patriarchal society. Healing those wounds is crucial. You can do that through therapy, through journaling, through meditation, of course, my favorite, hypnotherapy. By healing those patriarchal wounds. Both the masculine and the feminine have patriarchal wounds. Are expected to be the tyrannical king. Feminine has to put up a shield to protect themselves. Both can benefit from talking it out, talking out those wounds, and being embodied in their energy. Something the feminine that I find is very helpful to get into your feminine energy is to connect to the energy of Aphrodite. Now this is a little bit more esoteric, but what I believe is that the universe can embody many figures that represent certain aspects of life. So Aphrodite, of course, represents the feminine, the beauty, the love. So you can try to connect to Aphrodite. Something that you can do for this is get in the bath, light some candles, rose quartz, petals, and put a photo of Aphrodite either on the wall or you can have it next to you. Just call on the energy of Aphrodite. Ask Aphrodite to help you in embodying your feminine essence. And suddenly you'll start to lean more into the feminine. Know your energy, whether it's masculine or feminine, is balanced within you when you start embodying true happiness and joy. When you start leaning into the feminine or coming into the masculine, you start to feel more balance in your experience. So give it a try. As I said earlier, for masculine energy, you can begin to walk in grass. You can practice taking charge, not in a tyrannical way, not in a overpowering way, in a I make my own decisions way. I'm in my own energy way. Once you start embodying that, both energies, masculine and feminine, will begin to feel safe. And that's a beautiful thing, because we need more of that in this world. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll definitely make more videos on this topic. It's very interesting. I'm just gonna say I love you angels very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.